Hello guys, welcome back. This is the second video in the series Getting Started with Deno, and in this video we will install Deno on our local machine and we will also write our very first program for Deno. So let's get started. Alright guys, so for the purpose of writing code, I'll be using Visual Studio Code as my coding editor. If you can see, I've already created a folder and imported it in the workspace called as Deno app. VS Code also provides you access to the terminal, so we'll be using the attached terminal to run any commands if required. First things first, let's go ahead and install Deno on our system. So I'll just hop over to the main website and I'll just follow the steps given over there. It's straightforward. I'm using Linux, so I'll just copy this command and here. Once the setup has completed installation, open up your bash rc file, which is usually available in your home directory, and add these two variables at the very bottom of your screen. Note that the home directory will change according to your user. Alright, so now that we are done with that, let's just see if Deno is correctly installed onto our system. Again, let me just hop over to the official Deno website and just pick up this sample app. Paste it here. It says welcome to Deno. That means we have successfully installed Deno onto our system. One thing you might have noticed that you may find it weird if you are a Node.js developer is that in Deno we can basically run apps using URLs. Alright, so now let's just try and create this file onto a local machine, right, and then try to run it again. So let me just add a file here, app.js. Okay, my bad. It's supposed to be app.ts because Deno uses TypeScript. Say console.log. Welcome to Deno. Alright. There you go. Next, we will try to spin up an HTTP server using Deno. But before we do that, we need to install a Deno extension on VS Code. So this is not necessary, but if you do that, your development with Deno would be a lot easier. I have already installed it. You guys just click on the extension, search Deno, and the very first option, just click install. Once we have that installed, we are all set to write our first HTTP server in Deno. So if you just go back to your browser and do a bit of search on HTTP server libraries, you'll come across this. So this is a library that will help you spin up an HTTP server. Now what we can do in Deno is basically we can directly take this URL and we can import it into our program. Now if you see, it's showing an error and it's probably saying that this module is not cached locally. So what happens in Deno is that every time you import a module over HTTP, the first time it will download it from the internet and then later on it will cache it locally. So even if you are like offline or on an airplane, you'll still be able to run your programs. Now let's just try and run it and see what happens. Oops. Oh, I guess I missed the word from. Now it should work fine. Now if you see, I'm just importing this server TS in this program and it's doing nothing. But when you run it for the first time, you'll see these libraries getting downloaded. Now if you might have noticed that this error just went away. And that's one of the reasons I would prefer basically running your program and caching your HTTP modules locally before you work further. This will help you with TypeScript tooling. So now let's just go ahead and complete the program. So let's just take it into a variable. Oops, they should be declared. This dot font. Hello world. Let's add just a log so that we know a server is running. All right, let's just try and run it. Oops, there is an error. Has no properties in common with type fonts. So the respond function basically expects parameters to be in a certain way. Should be an object with the property body. Let's just try running it again. The reason our program failed, guys, is because we haven't allowed our program to access the network. Like we learned in our previous video that in Deno you need to explicitly allow your Deno programs to have access to specific things like network and files. So let's just try it again with this flag set as on. Deno run allow network node.js. All right, looks like our server is up and running. Let's just head back to the browser. Localhost 3000 and yay, hello world. So that's it for this video, guys. See you in the next one.